by 2014-15, we're on the right track.
The Honourable David
Yeah,
Cunliffe.
taking political advice from the maestro of Mount Albert is about like learning humour from Chris Finlayson. Mr. Speaker, Chris Finlayson, who has so little to say about the National Party that he spent the whole of his speech talking about the Labour Party. And this member, the Minister for Cigarettes, the brain of Mount Albert, who is content to badmouth Labour while Rome burns. Mr. Speaker, New Zealand is burning. Jobs are burning. Manufacturing is burning. Thousands of New Zealanders are leaving, and the ostrich economists on the other side pretend nothing is wrong. Mr. Speaker, this isn't about them or about us. This is about New Zealanders who can't pay the bills, who can't support their families, who can't find a job, as Jacinda Ardern pointed out. The thousands upon thousands who've queued up for jobs at supermarkets and fast food chains because that's all that they could find. And what does this government say to those New Zealanders? You're lazy. You're not trying hard enough. Which one of the 2,700 Kiwis queuing for 100 supermarket jobs was lazy? The 2,600 who were back in the queue? Don't insult New Zealanders, members. Don't insult their hard work. Don't insult the belief of those who are still in New Zealand that there might be a future. Mr. Speaker, unemployment is 7.3%. That's the worst in 13 years. It's the worst since last time Bill English was the Minister of Finance. It's up 74% since National took office. John Key promised 170,000 new jobs. What have we got? We've got 175,000 more unemployed.
That's right.
175,000 people looking for work. The jobless rate up 65%. Underemployment, people who are just making do with part-time, up nearly 40%. And the number of people on the dole up, wait for it, 116%. Is it the rest of the world's fault, as National said? Well, it really can't be, because the increase in New Zealand's unemployment has been 1.5 times that the rest of the OECD. So it can't be the rest of the world dragging us down. We're dragging them down. And Mr. Speaker, just this morning, the retail trade figures showed again that grocery spending, the basics, is down $60 million in a quarter, or nearly 8%. People can't feed their families, and National is content to make bad jokes about members of this House. No wonder the public is losing confidence in the institution of Parliament, sadly, Mr. Speaker, and certainly increasing disappointment in this government. So what is the bigger problem? Is it inflation that's below the target range, or is it unemployment that's through the roof? And if it's inflation, why won't they modernise a monetary policy framework that was written last century and flies in the face of the global financial crisis? Why are they happy to subsidise agriculture like irrigation and wipe out the emissions trading scheme, giving farmers a free ride in pollution subsidies while jobs burn and manufacturing closes? And thousands of New Zealanders are leaving. Mr. Speaker, we're here on this side of the House. We're here together as a team because we are not prepared to draw down the curtain on New Zealand. We are not prepared to give up on our country. That is what brings us to work every day. And the difference between this government's, quote, vision, unquote, and ours is stark. There's a dumb economy vision of basic pastoral agriculture and open cast mining and fat cat bankers, while ordinary New Zealanders are fleeing from their country, can't feed their families and can't find a job. New Zealand wants a smart, green economy with the jobs of the future that pay good wages and build smart products and services that people will pay the world for. Mr. Speaker, we've got nothing against agriculture, it's our backbone. But Mr. Speaker, it's not enough. And just milking a few more cows or mining a bit more coal isn't going to change the fundamental decline of our economy. Mr. Speaker, these are serious issues for serious times. They are not a laughing matter, they are real people hurting, and it is the future of our country on the line.
The Honourable Dr. Nick Smith.
Speaker.